Hi Pisces, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your June 2023 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's Celtic Coral spread as always, and also put the 4 agreements, Wisdom, the Oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Right. We have Virgo, and Virgo is actually your 7th house of partnerships, contracts, and relationships. Pretty quiet there, astrologically speaking, but you could have a focus on an area of life. All right, 5 and 5th house energy for you guys is actually Cancer, and we're actually going to have Cancer season kicking off around the 3rd week of June, so it makes sense to see that come up. And 5th house in general, this points to romance, creativity, children. And we have Saturn, and of course Saturn is actually in your sign for an extended stay, and it's actually going to start a retrograde around the middle of June, so makes sense to see this pop up as well. Alright, so with all those out of the way, we'll get started with the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the 2 of Wands, and challenging that we have the 9 of Swords. So for some of you might be looking for a fresh start somewhere around the situation, possibly around a financial situation for some of you. But the challenge could be you're really overthinking it, right? Getting a lot of anxiety around the situation. For some of you, this could also just be saying that maybe if your home environment has been very stressful for you lately, you might just be longing to travel, just get on, just get away, take a vacation for a little bit. All right. In the foundation position, we have the 10 of Wands. So this is Sagittarius energy here, which for you guys is your house of career and social status. And there will be a full moon in Sagittarius in June, so could just be pointing to that for some of you, saying that maybe you guys are getting close to wrapping up a work project, right? Maybe it's just taking a lot of your time and energy, and you might know that you're close to the end, but could just feel that exhaustion coming. So for some of you, that 2 of Wands could just be like you're counting down the days to like, okay, I can't wait till this thing is done so I could actually take a vacation, relax for a bit. All right, in the past position, we have the Magician. So to me, this says in the past, you might have felt like things were coming more easily to you, right? So now you just might be feeling so overwhelmed, whereas things seem to flow a lot better in the past. And some of you, for sure, especially given that we also saw Saturn come up in the dice, could just be mainly due to having Saturn in your sign. That could definitely make things feel a lot heavier and make it feel like things just take a lot more effort to get work done with that type of transit. All right, in the present position, we have the Knight of Cups. So this is a good energy to see here. This is actually the core card that represents your sign. So I feel like this is saying that you will be making some movement this month. Possibly even, like we said, it is going to have a retrograde cycle, referring to Saturn, that is, this month. So you might even feel a little bit of a lighter energy once that kicks into place too. But yeah, it looks like you guys will be coming forward this month and getting some movement. All right, in your future position, we have the 4 of Swords. So for some of you, if this is just around possibly some kind of a relationship, whether it be a friendship, romantic connection, family, you name it, that maybe was in need of a repair, this could represent you guys coming forward to open lines of communication there, and that actually leading to a bit of a healing cycle around the situation. And for others of you, like I said, this could represent you finally getting to relieve some of that pressure that you might be feeling like you have just so much that needs to be done. So it looks like it will be short-lived, at least this month. All right, in the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Page of Swords. So yeah, this looks like you do want to come forward and communicate something, but it looks like there could be a lot of anxiety around that as well. And I mean, he's looking at the direction of the 10 of Wands. So for example, maybe some of you might, for whatever reason, maybe feel guilty about asking for help in your work environment or asking for time off, right? Like, hey, I'm really overwhelmed here. I need some time away from the job, right? Or for some of you, maybe if you even work for yourselves, right? Where you're like, okay, well, I'm the only one doing this here, so I don't want to fall behind by taking time away. But it looks like it would be needed this month, so just keep that in mind. Especially, like I said, even if you just continue to work up until the Sagittarius full moon, then realizing that, okay, that was in my 10th house of career and social status. I wrapped up what I needed to wrap up. Now I'll take the break there, All right, in the environment position, we have the Empress. So yeah, for some of you, this could actually be the universe kind of suggesting that you embrace this energy a little bit if you have been pushing yourselves lately, right? So it could just be saying, hey, this really is the time for you to kick back and relax a little bit before you burn yourselves out, right? For others of you, this could represent someone else in your environment. So if you feel like this is one of those things, like I said, if you feel like you would like to see others around you chip in a little bit more, then that could say that, yeah, they're definitely in that receptive energy. As far as, so that would explain why they haven't been putting in more effort, but I feel like this is also saying that there's at least an openness on their part that if you did ask them for some help, they would be at least open to helping out. All right, and the hopes or fears position, we have the Knight of Wands. So yeah, to me, I view this more like I was saying with the Two of Wands, where I'm saying, like, I feel like you just want things to be light, right? You want to be able to travel, to move, to just feel like you don't have that heavy burden on you around your work right now. Well, for most of you, like I said, I feel like for the majority of you, it's work. It could be other areas of life too, but at the very least, it seems to be some area of life where you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed. You just want to feel that lightness again. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Star. So yeah, if nothing else, this is a good sign that you guys will get that course correction that you need this month. This could just be asking you to really tune into your intuition as well, and maybe that'll give you some insight on how best to navigate around the situation. Especially for you guys, since Aquarius energy is your 12th house, and 12th house could point to that spirituality, mental health type thing. So be on the lookout for that. All right, and the bottom of the deck, we have the Hanged Man. So yeah, for some of you really do feel like a bit stuck in a situation right now and not really necessarily sure of where it's all heading, right? Like I said, the good thing is it looks like it's primarily, maybe not all of it, but at least a good chunk of it seems to be due to just the astrological transits that we've been having lately. So June will start to feel lighter for you guys in that regard. But yeah, looks like, especially like I said, even if you would feel like you'd have some guilt around leaving something behind for a bit, like I said, then the compromise there could be to just go up until the Sagittarius full moon. Then after that energy passes, you could take some time from there. All right, moving on to your 4 agreements card, we have Don't Make Assumptions. And it says, relinquish the need to change others. All right, it says, real love is accepting other people the way they are without trying to change them. If we try to change them, this means that we don't really like them. It is easier to find someone who is already the way you want him or her to be, instead of trying to change that person. So, interesting message there. I didn't necessarily get this as much of a one-to-one love relationship dynamic with this reading, but if that is your situation, hopefully that resonated with you, especially given that we were just wrapping up a Mercury retrograde cycle recently. All right, and moving on to your Wisdom Oracle card, we have the Fates. There's the artwork, and the number is 17. All right, well, interesting to see that 17, because that's also the same number as the star card that we see in the outcome. So there could be a connection there where, like I said, maybe you go through, well, we even see some stars in the artwork there too. So there's definitely some parallels there. So maybe you had to go through this heavy energy in order to get through a course correction, but we'll see what it says in the book. Okay, essential meanings says fate, karma, acceptance that there are things you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. The Oracle's message. The Serenity Prayer sums up the meaning of this card. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There are things in life you will never have control over. The conditions brought on by the evolution of the collective, by nature, and by your past experiences may be fated, preordained by Spirit for a greater purpose you cannot understand in this lifetime. It may not be in your cards to understand why certain events occurred, but you can accept the mystery and work with what those events and your current circumstances have to teach you. This is the wisdom contained in the Serenity Prayer. So yeah, definitely a bit of a heavy message there. And like I said, some of this could just be the Saturn mix at play too, given that you guys have Saturn in your sign and that it also popped up in your dice. But hopefully that resonated. All right, the relationship message says other people are who they are. You can't change them. The challenge is to accept them as they are and not try to make them otherwise to suit you. This is a time to look at how you attempt to mold people to fit your view of how they should be so you can remain in a relationship and avoid discomfort. What if who they are and whatever is happening between you and them in this situation is perfect from the perspective of spirit? Now is the time to accept what you cannot change, even if it means that you honor yourself, spirit, and the other person by moving on. Love unconditionally, for each of us are on our own journey, and we cannot direct that of another. Be aware that this relationship is indeed fated, and you are meant to evolve into a better version of yourself as a result of it. So yeah, interesting message there, because again, like I said, this didn't feel like a one-to-one romantic connection type of reading, but that message seems to closely parallel the one from the Four Agreements card as well. So hopefully, if that is your situation, those messages resonate with you guys. And the prosperity message says your experiences concerning prosperity and abundance is beyond your personal control right now. You are being invited to accept what is unreservedly. This could be a temporary situation seemingly thrust upon you by outside forces, but there is an underlying purpose you can't see that has been determined by the fates. It could be a situation you are unprepared for, and you may not understand how it will benefit you in the moment. Do not fight the situation. Ride it out and see where it leads. Surrender to it, and the serenity you need to make good choices from here on out will be given to you. You will indeed flourish. So yeah, like I said, definitely a supportive message there as well. And like I said, that full moon in Sagittarius seems like it will help clear the air around situations, especially if it is related to your work and your finances. All right, and lastly, we'll take a look at your Mudra card. This is your card here. It's the Kurma Mudra. Keyword for it is patience. All right, and there's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But under benefits, it says activates the body's self-healing power, balances the immune system, harmonizes the relationship between the heart and the kidneys. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.